Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first review of the season. Today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Nightmare Cleveland, which is known for having, shall we say, a bug infestation. This is this haunt's third year, and yeah, we're going to give you our thoughts on it and maybe even have a giveaway later in the video. So yes, enjoy this episode of Haunt Talk. Nightmare Cleveland. As you know, we've been there since the first year, and then the second year they literally doubled in size. Because the first year was almost more of a soft open. It was only half the haunt, really, but they wanted to open it. And it was still decent length. It was still, better than a lot of haunts and stuff like that, content-wise. But then, the second year is when the full thing opened, and now we're in the third year where they're kind of ironing out, even more of the details, kind of just adding on. Nothing, big was added this year and stuff like that. And again, as I mentioned in the intro, we will be doing a giveaway in this video. Now, you have to stick around a little bit for that because you're going to need the details to actually know how to enter that giveaway. So we'll get to that a little bit later in the actual review. And one thing before we do start getting into the review is I want to remind you that this was part of our Haunted House documentary series, Haunt Behind the Scare.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched that, you definitely should after you watch this review or whatever. There's quite a few of places we went to. We went to 6 different ones this year, and we're going to be reviewing all of the ones that we went to.
Yeah.
So, spoiler, they're probably all going to get good reviews because we purposely chose ones that we consistently enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah. But, I think that's it for introductions. So, without further ado, it's time to refer to the Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Okay, and as always, we're going to start with sets and props.
Yeah. So, like we said, this place is very detail-orientated, and they have so many beautiful, beautiful sets in this place.
Yeah.
They did have
Absolutely.
one new scene towards the end, which was some creepy little pods and stuff like that. It seemed like they did add a few things since we did our little documentary. Just kind of freshened up some stuff while we were there.
Definitely.
Walking through, so.
Yeah, not really any new scenes outside of that last one, but yeah, it just seems like they, like Kim said, freshened up some things, maybe added a little more detail here and there. Again, it's hard to know everything. The main thing that it did seem different, it seemed like the lighting was even better this year. And again, maybe I'm wrong, but it definitely seemed like the lighting package was a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I never really had a problem with it before, but it just seemed better this year, I guess. And again, maybe that's not even a thing, but it definitely felt that way. Again, sound design in this place is absolutely amazing. Now, again, we've reviewed this place multiple times, so that's what we might not go in crazy detail, especially since we have a whole documentary. But again, the theme is kind of similar to that video game Bioshock. People basically want to enhance themselves, be more than a human, right?
Yeah.
They want to get superpowers or whatever that might be. Maybe not even superpowers,
Bionics.
but bionics.
Yeah.
And things go wrong, obviously. But yeah, the attention to detail in this place is absolutely bonkers. Same people that do Chippewa Slaughterhouse, which is also absolutely bonkers with the details. That was one of the craziest things getting to the behind the scenes of this place was, all of them had the little details. And we kind of sound like a broken record if you watch the documentary talk about that over and over again. But man, it really is true.
It really is. Just little tiny things, having a pair of reading glasses on a desk that no one's really gonna see, but it makes you feel like this desk was somebody's. somebody worked here.
Or like branding a paper towel dispenser inside of a fake bathroom that's just meant for a scare, which you literally would never see because you're getting scared while you're walking through there. But they know it's there and they care that much about the detail.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the stuff like that is absolutely amazing in this place. Yeah, and it's a very gory haunt.
Yeah.
So if you're into gore, there's going to be, the famous meatball room, which we've talked about, which you can see in the documentary. The goop pile you have to walk around. A fun elevator that you get to do, like, it's more of used as like a midway through the haunt thing to kind of break you up from the group. But yeah, I mean, they also added a few things to scenes like dividers. It seemed a little bit to kind of make it so the actors had more places to hide type of situation.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool that they did that. It did seem like some things were just kind of moved around. The pathing in certain rooms might have been different, I think. But yeah, again, this place is absolutely phenomenal. We're giving sets and props a 10 because I can't imagine it being much better. Because I think the one thing that we actually did complain about a little bit in previous reviews was some of the hallways were maybe a little bit underwhelming, just a couple of them, but it felt like they were things they did in the hallways this time that just made them a little bit more interesting to look at, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, that was one of our things, was a couple too many hallways is what we have in the notes from last year, which it seemed like they actually like made them more like efficient and did things with them that it didn't feel like you had a lot of dead space at all.
Right, yeah, which there really never was too much. But again, it's crazy this is a 30-year haunt built from the ground up.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But yes, now we're going to get into actors. So the one thing where I'm going to address the kind of the elephant in the room, because I've had other people messaging me and commenting, asking about this. They did stop the touch pass, which we'll talk about more in Scare Factor, but just know, obviously that involves actors, because they're the ones that touch you.
Don't touchy.
So, they could not do that. But one thing that we liked is it seemed like there's different hiding spots than what we had noticed before.
Mm-hmm. They were coming out of walls.
Yeah,
coming out from underneath things.
Yeah, and above, too.
And above.
Again, I don't remember. Maybe it was there before, but I didn't see it when we had previously been.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, we were just getting bombarded from, like, every angle. It was crazy.
Yeah. One of the real, like, small attention details that Kim was talking about, you're talking about, like, specifically the Q-line woman that kind of has her spiel before she sends you into the haunt.
Yeah, she was just, it was really cool because, so one of the things is that these people are, scientists and stuff, and they're getting infected by their own stuff, and they're becoming these bug and plant people. And if you notice her, she actually has like little spores just starting to grow on her hand. Like, she's starting to get infected, but she's not quite.
Yeah, she's still cognitive.
Yeah, she's still cognitive. She's still, trying to get people through the place and, everything like that. She's still, doing her little spiel and stuff. But these little dots you just see on her hands and stuff, and you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Because then the other Q-line guy he was like inspecting you. He had like a little checklist, and he kept like harassing us and whatnot. I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but I remember it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Beetlejuice shirt on, and he said, Beetlejuice, and he's like, do you like Beetlejuice? And I said, yes. And he's like, ew, you like blended up beetles? No wonder your breath smells so bad. And then he kept going to the people behind us and be like, did you know that freak likes Beetlejuice or whatever? It was funny. As always, great makeup and costuming, and we like the progression of how it goes from like just kind of crazed people to bugs. A good mix of jump scares and stalking. I did feel like there just was a good mix of that. So you get your like pop scares, just people banging on walls, but then you also got things like at one point we were coming around a corner and there was like a bug person that just had his little like tentacle arm just kind of peeking around, just grabbing and just slowly moving. Like, you knew he was going to jump from somewhere, but you didn't know quite where he was going to be in that next room.
Yeah.
It's always hard to like know what I should include in actors and what I should include in like Scare Factor, but since it was an actor that gave me the scare, we'll talk about it here. There was one room we were in, and there was like a guy behind a desk, and I was looking at him, and when I turned around, an actor had come from somewhere else with one of those like fake cattle prods and had it right here in my face and turned it on, Very rarely do I get scared so bad I like fall. I actually fell back into Kim a little bit. If she wasn't there, I probably would have went to the floor.
Yeah, it was really surprising. Like, he was all of a sudden like on me, and I'm like, what? And then I saw the cattle prod. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, scare the bejesus out of me. So good jobs to you if you see this video. There's a really funny lady in the dog area. There's like this real messed up scene where they have like all the dogs that they're doing experiments on. It's dark and all you can see the silhouettes. So it looks like there's dogs in cages, and we should probably talk about this and then set some props, but we've talked about it in previous reviews. But anyways, and yeah, so like the whole thing is that it's like dogs that they're doing tests on. But when I went in there, she said some stuff to Kim, and then she came up to me and she's like, you're infested with fleas. I can tell you need this shot. And then she came up, and I forget exactly what she said. Something like, you're nothing but a mutt. Are you at least going to be a good boy and sit? And so I like kind of like, I didn't sit on the floor, but I like kind of squatted down, and she's like, who's a good boy? And I thought that was really funny.
There were a few empty spots, but there were quite a few actors that were actually getting us in multiple rooms, which I appreciated.
And this was like their second weekend, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they opened Friday the 13th, and then I think they had like a day off, and then they opened the following weekend. So, yeah, this was like their opening weekend. So, for being that, I thought they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I thought they had, like I said, there wasn't many dead spots, just a couple, but they seemed pretty well staffed that night. And the actors were really on point for the most part, high energy, all of that stuff. Again, we'll talk about that. But yeah, actors, again, we thought were really great, and we gave them a 9. So next up is Scare Factor. So as far as atmosphere goes for this place, it is a very unnerving atmosphere. A lot of that comes from the sound design.
Yeah, because there's like a droning noise throughout the entire haunt that just kind of just drives you bonkers as you're going through.
Yeah, it really gives you anxiety, for sure.
Yeah,
It kind of gives you this uneasy feeling, mixed in with all the normal things like lab equipment, the loud boot pedals, the noises, the sounds of like screaming.
Yeah.
Haunted house stuff.
Haunted house stuff, you know. A lot of really good misdirection. I do recall one of the scares that was really cool was there was like an actor that was coming towards us, and it seemed like a normal kind of like she was just gonna say something funny or whatever like that, but she was the distraction because then we just got bombarded by a bunch of stuff, and it was a really well done scare. It really got me. It really did get me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, towards the end, somehow, and again, we're just mentioning it, not the haunt's fault at all, we got conga lined at the end, which I don't get it. They were leaving so much space. I have no idea. And we do not walk fast. We caught people, and a bunch of people caught up to us, and like at the end was just this like giant, and I'm like, how I don't understand how it happens. They do such a good job trying, and it's like people must just like. And it always happens to us. I swear, like, the people in front of us always just must be stopping or maybe sitting down and having a little break. And the people behind us must be running. Because, again, we just continuously walk at a slow and steady pace. We never stop unless the actors basically,
make us stop.
Right, get in front of us and that. So I just don't know how that always happens. Again, not the haunt's fault. I just don't understand how it always happens to us. But again, the biggest thing for Scare Factor is, yes, they do not offer the Touch Pass any option. Me and Kim love the Touch Pass.
Yeah.
We thought they did a phenomenal job with it. There are reasons they stopped. So I get it. I hope that eventually they're able to bring it back in some capacity, even if it's for like a one weekend thing or something, because I really think the Touch Pass added something, especially with like these giant monsters, them being able to like grab you and stuff with their gross like tentacle things, make you touch the goopy eggs. It's just doing it with Touch Pass and then doing it without Touch Pass, it definitely just feels kind of less scary. Again, still a pretty scary haunt. Like, it's not like an average haunt you would want to take your kids to, because again, it's gory, it's loud, it's in your face. If we had never had the Touch Pass experience, it's kind of like that you don't know what it's missing until it's like gone kind of thing. You don't know it's missing if it's never there. It's like, I want that back. I don't know if it ever will come back. They still do it at Chippewa Slaughterhouse, thank God, which we're going to the next weekend. But yeah, still absolutely worth going to. It's just know that Touch Pass is not an option, and don't get upset or be irate about it. There are reasons why they had to do that. It is what it is. But again, we love the touch pass option ourselves.
Right.
And I don't know how many people actually do the touch pass. That's a good thing. Let us know in the comments. Do you actually do the touch pass?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people actually do the touch pass versus people that like, no thank you, I don't want to be touched, I'm just going to go through the haunt.
Right.
Because again, for us, we go to so many haunts, like, we get desensitized a little bit. Even though I jump a lot, I don't really get freaked out.
Right.
But I do get freaked out when I know that after the jump, they can grab me.
Yeah.
Like, it's still, there's always that, like, are they going to get me?
I felt kind of bad because, so a couple weeks ago, we did go to Halloween Horror Nights in Universal, and the person that was behind me made a comment about me not reacting to any of the scares.
Well, Kim also doesn't, like, she's not as...
And I do get scared. But
you don't have much of a reaction. You don't have that much of a reaction.
I'm not gonna flail about like some of these people do. You know,
like I screech and I kind of jump. I don't really flail too much unless
he
like
makes
the guy
his little
with the cattle
noises
prod.
and stuff, and
He
I do
made me
scream
flail.
occasionally. Yeah, but it was just so funny because she's like, this girl ain't reacting to nothing, and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, again, scare factor, still very scary, just a little bit less scary for this experience because of the no touch pass, so we did give scare factor an 8.
Yes.
All right, and no, we haven't forgot about the giveaway. We're going to do that in the next when we talk about overall. Well, we'll do it basically at the end of the review. We may just stick to the whole video for this one, so... So for the people that haven't stuck around the whole time, you have a better chance. For the people that did. Anyways, so value. So it varies. It's one of those haunts like many haunts are doing now where it depends on the night you go. So when we went, it was $24.99. It looks like it maxes out at $32.99 for a normal ticket.
Yeah.
It is online only.
Yes.
They do not sell tickets there. It's all over everything. They typically don't sell out, I don't think, early in the season, but make sure you purchase your tickets at least a day in advance towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Saturday where you might not get to go. So you need to know that. You're going to need to plan at least a day or two ahead of time if you plan on going like later in the season. Even if you don't, it's always safe. Better safe than sorry to get that ticket purchased.
Yeah, for sure. If you do want to get a little bit faster, Fast Pass is $10 more. They do also have an immediate access, which is $20 more. So that gets you to the front of the line.
Yeah. One thing I will say personally, I don't know if immediate access, I don't know if immediate access would ever be necessary. And it might be. Fast Pass on busier nights, yes, but like, because it's time ticketing, we've had to wait in a couple lines, but nothing's ever been crazy because of the fact it's time ticketing.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if that's 100% true. And for the Fast Pass for only $10 more, I think if it's a busier night, like later in the season, you absolutely should purchase that.
Yeah.
For just $10. But again, the immediate access, I don't know if that's... Maybe you only do that if you're in a really big time crunch and you're like, I have to get through this to get to the next thing. Or
yeah, that's what I was just going to say. If you're trying to get like multiple haunts like what we do, then probably immediate or Fast Pass is probably the way to go.
Yeah, definitely I would say yeah. So we didn't do Fast Pass because we knew that this was going to be a slower weekend since it's so early in the season. And it was the only one we had that night too because not much else was open. So we're like, if we have to wait, we have to wait. But yeah, just note that. It took us 21 minutes to get through, which is a little bit less than last year. I think it's just because without the touch pass, we weren't held in places as much. But still a pretty lengthy haunt. So yeah, we gave value a 9. Which brings us to our overall score of 9.25. So again, I still think this is probably the best year because, I mean, even though they couldn't touch, the actors were still probably the best we've seen them.
Yeah.
Again, sets and props were already amazing, but just that little bit of added like lighting, a little bit of like fine-tuning details, all of that stuff, we just kind of took level to the next level just a little bit. Because what was last year's overall? Do you have it?
Last year's overall was a 9.
Yeah, so it went up at 0.25 because again, I mean, we're already, up there. There's still like slight room for improvement here and there, but very little. Again, this is definitely an A-class haunt that you should experience, and I've said it a million times, but still amazing that this is a haunt that's only in its 3rd year now.
Right.
All right, so now it's time for the giveaway, like we talked at the very beginning of the video. So, this is how you're going to enter to win. You really basically need to do 2 steps. We're going to have a secret code, basically, for each one, so that way I know that you actually watched the video this far, in case you've watched the other ones and kind of see how it works. So, all you have to do is comment on the video saying, I want the tickets. Do not comment the secret word. what you need the secret word for is there's going to be a link, and you need to go to that link, and it's going to take you to my website. You're going to fill out a little form. It's really quick. It's just like name, email, the secret code, and I think it might ask like one other thing, maybe like why you want to win it. So then it submits it. Oh, and your YouTube name, so I can see you actually commented. And that way I'll have the email, so I can just email you directly. So I made a whole form in that, because before we couldn't have people comment their email, because I don't want the email just public knowledge for everyone.
Yeah.
So now it's like a private thing that just comes to an inbox to us through our website that we have like photography and stuff like that. And that way I have a list of all the people. And again, so the code for this video is just going to be Nightmare 2024. It doesn't matter if you capitalize it, uppercase it. Now again, make sure you do not comment that word, or I'll just delete your post and it won't count.
Yeah.
Because again, that word is just put in the video for two things. So I know you watched the video, and I know which one you're doing for, because it's one form for all the giveaways. Mm-hmm. If you don't put the right word in there, I won't know which one you're actually trying to enter for, because there's going to be multiple different secret words for each one, and they're not all just going to be like the haunt name with the year. They're going to be different.
Yeah.
So as far as announcing the winner, we will mention it in a video, but you'll just get an email directly if you won, and then in one of the following reviews, we will mention who won. We'll also post on our social media, so make sure you're checking your inbox and all that, because if we don't hear back with you within like a couple days or something, we'll pick another person, because again, we want to make sure we get these tickets to people in time. And also, do not do this if you're not going to be able to make it to it.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're going to announce the winner, because this video should be up I think on like Thursday. I think we'll announce the winner on October the 4th for this one, so make sure you get the comments and stuff in there for that. That gives you a little over a week to do so.
Cool.
But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, and most importantly, make sure you're ringing the ding-a-ling bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. This week we're also going to have reviews for A Doodah's Haunted Farm, what a funny name, and 100 Acre Manor. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.